Welcome to this week's Bible Topics discussion. We're glad you're with us today as we discuss the Proverbs 31 woman. This will be a 2-week discussion. Most of you have probably heard this term, but maybe you have never heard it talked about much.
The scripture about the Proverbs 31 woman comes from the last portion of Proverbs chapter 31, verses 10 through 31. Let's look at these verses a few at a time and talk about what they say to us, remembering that the Bible is not outdated, but is still true today. Verses 10 through 12 say this: A wife of noble character, who can find? She's worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life.
This passage says that if a man has found an excellent wife, she's more valuable to him than jewels. Her husband trusts her, and she does him good and not bad, and supports him all her life. I think that's what the marriage vows mean when they say, till death do we part. It means she's faithful to him all her life. It means we're faithful to each other all our lives.
The next passage is verses 13 through 16, which says, She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it's still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard.
Now, it may be that a wife enjoys going and selecting wool and flax to work with and bring her food from afar for her family, and she'd like having servants and getting up while it's still night, buying fields and planting vineyards. There's certainly nothing wrong with that, but that's probably not the way most folks do it now. As you may be able to tell, keeping a household going back then was not quite the same as it is now. But basically what this means is that she does the work it takes to run her household in such a way that her family and household are taken good care of. It means that her husband doesn't have to worry about going to work and having to take care of things when he gets home too. His wife has taken a large load off him, and he's able to enjoy being at home with his family. She's done her part, and he's done his. She's taken so much stress off of him.
The next passage is verses 17 through 19, which says, She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand she holds the distaff, and grasps the spindle with her fingers. Her arms are strong because she uses them every day. No one, man or woman, had to go to the gym back then because their work kept them in shape. Many women made things and traded them back then, and they worked on it into the night sometimes. They trained their children in these ways so that when they had their own homes, they would be able to contribute to the household income. Some women still do this, but there are other similar ways women are doing this these days. For example, when a child has outgrown his or her clothes, the mother sells them online or takes part in a consignment sale. Some women are good bakers and sell their cakes and cookies. You may be wondering what the distaff and the spindle are. These are just terms for parts of a spinning apparatus they use to spin raw material into yarn. You probably have to go to a museum these days to see one.
Well, that's it for this week. Please like, comment, and share, and contact us with any questions or comments. We will pick back up next week with part 2, the conclusion of Proverbs 31 woman, the wife of noble character. See you next week. Be blessed.